Hey guys, I'm back with yet another knife review, and this one's a little too big to fit on my screen, which is kind of awesome. Um, First off, I'd like to say I do reviews, and I'm doing knife reviews especially because I know going online and buying a knife is kind of a blind, shot in the dark, and I always look for reviews before I buy them, and a lot of times there aren't very many, and if they are not very helpful, not very specific, so it's still kind of, you got a little flashlight, but the flashlight's got about a three inch, shine span, and you're still shooting in the dark. So I figured I'd just do, ones that I got, and hopefully that would help anybody in need of it. So what I have right here is the M9 special, the M9 Survival Bowie from the Special Operations Association. I bought from them before. If you've seen my trench knife video, that is the same company that made that. Pretty good. This is pretty much how I unboxed it. There was some plastic around the hilt here, but other than that, this is literally how it came unboxed. I'm going to break down the sheath before I do anything. The sheath is made out of like nylon. It's nothing really heavy duty, but it definitely gets the job done, no complaints whatsoever. It's got a nice little belt loop here, and this belt loop is quality, so it's not going to wrinkle up when you attach it to your belt or anything. I really like the olive green S.O.A insignia here, the logo, and it came with a free little sharpening stone in the sharpening stone compartment, which I thought was pretty cool. Never saw that. Well, I've seen it, but I've never owned one that had it, I should say. It has a nice little, on the button there, I'm going to focus. God damn it, focus. It's got a nice little, it's the S.O.A skull, and it says S.O.A down there. This skull with the beret, so I thought that was pretty cool. I'll just give you a little of the back. It's pretty cool. There's no hole at the bottom, so the blades has no chance of even sticking out, or if it gets pushed down, poking you. This snaps in place real nicely. It's like a jean button instead of one of those ones where it's just a little thing that you latch into the other part. It's one of those snap buttons. So I find those are a little more quality. If you excuse me. I'm just gonna... Oh, well, I messed up the sheath myself. Well, I'm not even going to show that because it doesn't really matter. But for future reference, if you do buy this knife, be careful when taking it out because the serrated part here is very sharp and will mess up your sheath. Anyway, this is a very, very big knife. Way bigger than I thought it would be. Here's a 12-inch ruler, and it outspans that by a few inches. I think it was a 15-inch overall. You don't really understand the scale of it until you hold it in your hand. I mean, it's really big. First off, it's got a really long, nice, decently thick and sharp blade here. It's got a really good serrated part here. This would definitely 100% cut down tree branches if you needed to start a fire, which I will get to in a few seconds. I don't know the practical purpose of this. I'm going to assume it's a bottle opener. That I know for a fact that's not what it is, but that's what I'd probably use it for. Be like, ooh, Coke, or something. I don't know. But it's pretty cool. I've never had a Survival Bowie, so I'm not exactly sure. My grandpa had a knife from Korea, but they hid that when I was about 12 because that's when I started having an interest in knives, and, well, I'll see it again one day, I'm sure. But yeah, it's really big, really nice, thick, sharp all around, and it's got the Death Waits in the Dark thing on it, which is pretty cool. Then it's got the S.O.A logo on it again. Nothing on the back, just plain. There's that. It says United. Some other junk. And then there's these two holes here. I don't know the actual practical purpose of them, but the top hole is bigger than the bottom hole for some reason, which I think is alright. Doesn't bother me, really. When I first saw it, I was a little disappointed, but now that I'm used to it, I don't care. It's got a rubber hilt, which is decent. It doesn't slip or anything. It's got a really nice grip to it, so I can definitely hold it, and if you think you're going to have a problem with that, then you can always tie the wrist lanyard around your wrist and you'll be fine. It's really long, which might help you if you're in a situation where you need about 1.5 foot of rope or string or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty good. I'm going to open the compartment, so I'm going to put the phone down. Sorry about that for the second time. Now here's where my complaints with this knife lie. As I open it, I'm going to give you a little... There's two things about this knife, and they both stem from inside. One, it has a compass, but the compass does not work. The compass has literally been stuck in this position since I bought it. You can shake it, you can hit it, it won't do anything. So the compass is 100% useless. I'm going to try and fix that myself, but I'm probably not going to do anything to it. And then you have the little survival kit here. This is the second complaint I have. When the survival kit is inside the hilt, let me refocus, I'm sorry. When the survival kit's inside the hilt here, it tends to bump around as you swing it. So it makes you feel like the blade is loose, and it kind of gets irritating after a while. You can easily take this out and you won't have any problems, but I mean, that's just a complaint I have. I didn't actually open this, but from what I'm seeing is there's matches, there's fishing line and a fishing hook. It looks like a paper clip. Yeah, there's a lure, there's a hook, there's a paper clip, there's three or four matches. One match looks different from the other matches, and that looks to be it, and then it's in this little plastic tube. I'm not going to take it out simply because I don't want to have to shove it all back in there and have a pain in the butt. It's literally just a little cheap. It's a fishing hook and some matches, basically. Yeah, so it's nothing really spectacular. But like I said, that's the only two complaints I really have with this knife. And, yeah. So I'm just going to leave that video here. I hope this will help anyone